Today we're going to talk about the statistical process in solving a problem, the role of statistics in decision making. Before you formulate a decision, you have to make a plan. There should be a plan or a design on how to collect the data so that the information we get from it is enough or sufficient for us to minimize any bias in responding to a query. As an example, we have the problem here. We want to know if dogs eat more than cats. This problem cannot be answered by asking the owner of these pets alone, right? If we do this, then we would have to ask every person who owns a cat or dog, which is not possible for it is time consuming. Hence, we can come up with a plan. Since we cannot ask all the owners of this cat, we can get a representative group of dogs and another representative group of cats. These representative groups will be observed for some characteristics like animal weight, amount of food in grams eaten per day, and breed of animal. Next, we have to come up with the process of selecting the group of dogs and cats. How are we going to select those who are included in the representative groups and when to observe these animals, like time and place when to observe these animals for their characteristics? Next, after the data were gathered, we must verify the quality of data to make a good decision. Data quality check should be done as we process the data to summarize the information extracted from the data. Using all the information, we can now make a decision or provide answers to the problem or question at hand. Now, we have the statistical process in making decision or providing solutions to a problem. First, we need to plan. We have to plan the collection of data to answer statistical questions in a way that maximizes information content and minimizes bias. With the example a while ago, we don't need to ask all the pet owners of dogs and cats to come up with a result. Instead, we are just selecting a representative of the owners of dogs and cats to gather the information to minimize this bias, but we can maximize our information. Next, after planning on how to collect the data, we have to collect the data required in the plan. In collecting the data for the cats and dogs, we assign characteristics like their weight, the amount of food they take in grams. So these are the data that we need to gather to find answer to our problem, which is do cats eat more than dogs? Next, of course, the verifying process. Of course, in any kind of investigation, we have also to verify the information that we have gathered. So after gathering the information from the owners of this pet and dogs, we have to verify if all the information or all the questions that were given to them were properly answered. Okay, so after verifying the data that we have gathered, we have to summarize the information extracted from the data. So it is not enough to present the answers of these respondents or these pet owners. We have to summarize the data also. So in summarizing, it involves averaging. We also use percentage to summarize the information so that we can present it in an understandable manner to the readers or to the audience of our problem. So after we have summarized the information, we have to examine, of course, the summary statistics so that insight and meaningful information can be produced to support decision making or solutions to the question or problem at hand. Say, for example, on the problem on the cats and dogs, for example, the result showed that cats eat more than dogs. So we can conclude that cats eat more than dogs by examining all the statistics or the result of the data gathering procedure to strengthen the claim of our answer. So, in that way, statistics were able to help us in determining solutions to the problem. And of course, we were able to present a solution or an acceptable answer to the problem at hand. So, just like in any a question and answer, any answer is valid if there is a valid evidences to support the answer. So that is the goal of using statistics in decision making and problem solving. Now let's have the key points. A question or problem can be answered statistically if it needs planning to gather the desired data. Now, if the problem do not need a statistical process, then we cannot conclude it as statistical question. Like for example, you want to know the favorite color of your favorite classmate. You can just ask his favorite color without asking your classmates about his favorite color. But if you want to know the average height of a high school student, then you can select a representative from the high school department to gather the information or the data, which is the height, so you can come up with a conclusion on the average height of the high school students in your school. Why? Because again, statistics is a science that studies data. So there are many uses of statistics, but its main use is in decision making. So imagine the pandemic COVID-19 now without the statistics. We cannot really know the real situation of the world with this COVID-19 without the proper reporting of statistics. Next, we can do logical decisions or solutions to a problem through statistical process. So that is the process that our government is using right now. So they can create logical decisions to address the needs of this country to fight COVID-19. So again, the statistical process in making decision or providing solutions to a problem involves planning, collecting, verifying, summarizing, and examining. If the problem doesn't need this five, then we cannot say that the problem needs a statistical process. So that's it for now. This is Teacher Shivi. See you again next time.